Danger! Where's my tie? Here we are in the dead of winter, and even though the plants have gone to sleep for the winter, we botanists can't. There's still work to be done. So I thought I'd come out for a little hike today and maybe talk a little bit about some Christmas-related plants, specifically today, Christmas trees. And so most of you probably have some species, well, a lot of you have some species of pine tree for your Christmas tree. And this particular species is one that you might have. This is the Scotch pine or the Scots pine. It's Pinus sylvestris. And the true pines have some specific characteristics that allow us to know that they're pines. So if we take a close-up look at the leaves on this, the needles, what you're going to see is that the needles are clustered. They come off in pairs on this. So anything that's a true pine, that is in the genus Pinus, is going to have clustered needles. The way that a botanist would say it is the needles are in fascicles, or they're fascicled. The number of needles per fascicle matters. And for the Scotch pine or Scots pine, the needles are always in twos. So we have pairs of needles coming out here. And then another distinctive characteristic of the Scotch pine is that the needles rotate. I don't know if you can see on the film how twisted they are. And so they're very distinctively twisted or rotated in the Scotch pine. Now, in addition, the Scotch pine has a very distinctive trunk characteristic in that the upper part of the trunk is often kind of orangish colored, and then the bottom is more brownish or grayish color, but the top has a real distinctive orange coloration to it. So that's the Scotch pine. And then we're going to move on to another species that most of you won't actually have as a Christmas tree, that particular species, but you'll have something that's related to it. If you have a spruce for your Christmas tree, there's a good possibility it's a blue spruce or maybe an Engelmann spruce. That's what I have here is a spruce, but this is a black spruce. And the black spruces are pretty cool trees. They tend to grow in boggy areas. And so that's areas that have a lot of peat or sphagnum moss, and they're very wet. And the spruces, just like the other non-pine pine family plants, they have a single needle coming out at each spot on the stem. So one needle at each spot on the stem, unlike the pines that have either, well, two or more needles coming out. And the number of needles can help you determine what species of pine you have. Another cool thing about the spruces is the lower branches of them can drag on the ground and they get kind of buried. But then you'll get a new tree sprouting up from those branches. So the sphagnum moss will grow over the lower branches, and then that branch will sprout into a new tree. And that's what we've got here with this beautiful little tree right here. This probably sprouted up from that larger tree right there. So these are clones of one another. And again, I think this is just a beautiful, beautiful tree. In fact, it's such a beautiful tree, I just have to give it a great big kiss. Danger! Where's my tie?